This is your Warlord of Weird, Sinn Bodhi, and you're listening to Live and in Color with Wolfie D and his super sexy sidekick, Jimmy.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Hear the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D, from his time in the territories with PG-13 to his time in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Thanks again for tuning in. Here he is, Wolfie D.
Welcome once again to Live and in Color with Wolfie D and my man Jimmy across the street. Jimmy, how's it going, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing today? How you feeling?
Man, I'm sore. I'd really like to take a shower. I can't shower. Man, they told me I got to wait 3 days. You know, I still got the bandage on and the sling and all that. But, you know, it's not as sore as I actually thought it was going to be. And, I'm like, man, this ain't shit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to speak too soon on that. But, yeah, man, I was upstairs a little while ago just doing the old baby wipe shower, you know, until I can get in there tomorrow. They said I could shower tomorrow and take the bandages off and re-bandage it, all that good stuff, clean it up. I'm just ready to get this one behind me. I'm hoping they'll fix my other shoulder because it actually was worse than this one, in my opinion. But we'll see if they can or will or whatever.
So do you have active pain in the other shoulder right now as we speak?
Yeah, especially if I'm trying to work out or something, it don't move right no more where it's separated and it clicks and pops and it hurts.
So every time you're trying to do a full extension, you're just like cracking, popping.
Yeah, it don't feel good at all.
No, bro, that's brutal, dude. Yeah, well, you know I can't exactly help your body per se, but I do have something cool. So a year ago, bro, as you know, you were there with me. I was completely burnt out, bro. Like 2 podcasts were completely wearing me out. I couldn't focus. My sleep was terrible. Actually, I just had no sleep. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt like I was literally just getting through each day, man. You know?
Yeah. Been there.
And so I started doing some research, man, and that's when I learned that not only is your mental health important, but also is your mental wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and you understand what mental wealth is, right? I mean, mental wealth is about literally investing in habits today that build your resilience for future challenges, Wolfie D.
So, for sure. And that, what was it, about a year ago when we started experimenting with the Magic Mind?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and obviously Magic Mind is literally the savior of the day for me, bro. And there's 5 pillars of that, Wolfie. It's sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, and exogenous compounds. Now, I think what everybody knows is the first 4, but what is that last, exogenous compounds?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, so that's where our friends at Magic Mind come in. They reached out a year ago, like you said, and sent us a few shots to try and see if they work for us first before sponsoring the episode. And man, oh man, bro, we couldn't wait to get back to them. I remember you were like a week into it. And normally they say let's give it 2 weeks, 15 shots, a little over 2 weeks and get into it. And you were like, nah, bro, it's 5 days in. I'm feeling awesome. Let's do this,
Yeah, I enjoyed, the little run we did with it there. It made me feel a lot better. I can tell a difference. Usually I'm skeptical on it, but I thought it worked well for me.
Yeah. So the cool thing is they have now introduced a sleep shot. So not only do they have a daytime shot, they now have a nighttime shot to calm you down. And so we use both shots for 24 hours of mental performance. Sleep shots for better sleep and focus shots for better daytime clarity, man. So I've been using Magic Mind's focus shots in the mornings for 5 days, and bro, it's made a noticeable difference in my clarity. At night, the sleep product has helped me wind down after just 3 nights of use. Bro, tell them about No Sleep Wolfie D. How you feel after that?
Dude, especially with the injuries and surgeries and all that, I find it very hard to sleep, man, because I can't get comfortable. So that sounds very promising to me. If you say it's working for you, maybe it'll help me in that area, man, because last time we didn't have that. We didn't have the night or whatever.
Right,
so,
exactly.
That'd be something new for me to check out. I'll be looking for that one.
Yeah, it's on its way, I promise. So right now, Wolfie D, for the first time, the 24-hour pack, focus and sleep shots bundled up for the first time at a 45% off. And that is exclusive to our link. It's www.magicmind.com LiveInCoJan. So it's LiveInCoJan. Or just follow the link in our description of this show right now and get onto your path of mental health and mental wealth. Right, Wolfie?
Yeah, man. And hey, you sent me something a couple of days ago. And you know what's pretty cool, man, is I'm reading that they're donating 5 cents for each bottle sold to mental health charities that help the U.S. homeless. That's pretty cool.
Dude, that's huge. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bro. That's awesome. I mean, that's a cool little thing to find out about a company you're working with. Come on, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can get into support that,
Totally. So right now on the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast, we are introducing the January Mental Wealth Challenge. There's no better time to start right now. Make 2025 the year you build your mental resilience. Improve both your sleep and your awake clarity with Magic Mind. And that is on point. Right, Wolfie D?
Yeah, man. Like I say, I'm looking forward to getting it again, get it going again, because I enjoyed last time. And like you said, or like we were just talking about that, and now we have a gimmick for nighttime, so I'll be interested in seeing how well that works.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. So keep in mind, magicmind.com/liveincojan for 45% off the 24-hour pack. Do it right now. Don't miss out. Y'all enjoy. Let us know how it feels, and let us know what your mental wealth is like. But anyway, on with the show.
On with the show. The show must go on. And today we got a old buddy back on the show.
Yeah.
Sinn Bodhi. He's going to be up there in Portland for the expo there.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to you by Captain's Corner. If you want to give all the rundown on that again like you usually do, that'd be straight.
Of course, Captain's Corner, Nick, Pro Wrestling Expo, Saturday, February 22nd. And that is, of course, at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. Sinn Bodhi, Rikishi, Mean Mike Miller, the Berserker, John Nord, Lynn Denton, the Grappler, Ricky Santana, Rocky De La Sera. Bro, the list goes on, man. Mean Mike, I think I said him, but let's see him again. Go back to his table. We love Mean Mike, man. So but Sinn Bodhi, bro, I'm just stoked that we're working with Sinn again today. What a great interview he is. And I know that even though it's a part 2 and you hate part 2s, with Sinner, it's always a fresh start, man. He's always got
no
something
telling what we'll get into
on.
with him.
We don't know, but we'll find out, right?
Yeah, nothing planned. Call it in the ring, baby.
You daggone right. Well, I tell you what, Wolfie, you want to come back after these messages?
We can do that.
Be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey folks, to get your official Live and in Color with Wolfie D merchandise, go to prowrestlingtees.com/live Wolfie D. Check it out.
If you're listening to Live and in Color with Wolfie D on Apple Podcast and like what you're hearing, go ahead and leave a 5-star rating. And while you're at it, write a review. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you'd like to hear in the future. It's very important to us and always appreciated. Thanks again.
All right, folks, we're back. Now, I've got another good friend of mine and former tag team partner, Sinn Bodhi. We were the disciples of the new church, and we had fun with that. And Sinn, what is up with you today?
Going on, brother? How are you?
Are you pecking your chickens and chicking your peckins?
I was literally just got inside. I was running around doing some stuff, and we just fed some of the critters on the funny farm here, checked on everybody, and came inside and got on my fantasy speaking spell and got with you guys.
Yeah, I'd love for the people to hear though. We got to talk about this again. Like, what your daily routine, man? You wake up at what time and go out there and do what with your chickens and your goats and your all this shit, man? It's just so funny to me.
I make my wife do the morning duty. She gets up and does.
Karen, and her name is
Karen.
Yeah, Karen Krill.
I just said it. She just hung her head as I said it. She walked out of the front door, just going, fuck. Here we go. But yeah, I've always kind of been more of a night guy. So I just kind of pulled rank. I just kind of big leagued her and said, "You're doing the fucking breakfast stuff." Yeah. And so I'll get up. She's about the loudest lady on the planet. So when she wakes up, I'm up. And because she's baby talking critters and talking to dogs and cats and cutting promos and all this kind of stuff. And so she'll kind of do the breakfast routine. She'll feed the goats and chickens and the ducks and the turkeys and the dogs and the cats and everybody. And then, and by the way, I will say that there's probably going to be barking as right on cue, as I said it, you can hear a little dog in the background. There's probably going to be barking or chickens clucking or getting
special appearance.
It's sundown now. So the chickens are getting ready to go for bed. So, but you'll hear some cockadoodle doing. And so just apologize if you hear a bunch of critters, but that's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's hilarious, man.
That's how it is on the funny farm, man. But yeah, so we just got inside and so we were just checking on everybody, and we got this big old puppy. It's about a 450-pound midget Texas Longhorn.
Oh,
he's in the back there, and he's a silly one, and so he's kind of like he's basically like a giant dog. Like he's just like a giant puppy. Like he gets the zoomies and he flomps around. He plays with his ball and he wants treats and he wants to lick you and he wants to be petted and ridiculous.
I remember that one time.
Giant horn. So.
I remember that one time you came to my house when I lived in Portland, Tennessee, and you had that giant dog. You had a giant dog that came to my house. Yeah. What happened to that guy?
Oh, you don't want to know. You're going to be sorry that you brought that up.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, you're gonna get a heel horror story right now.
Damn.
So long story short, there was this wrestling fangirl that all the guys kind of ribbed her and whatever. I was just nice to her. I was never anything but nice. I was respectful and polite. Like I was never flirty or nothing. Just nice.
Yeah.
And so I found out that she was like a dog sitter. Like she had all that stuff. So when I was kind of moving back and forth from Toronto to Louisville because I was working at OVW at the time. And so she came and recommended, whatever. She was always at the wrestling shows. She knew the boys, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I boarded Kamala with her for a little while I was kind of moving all my stuff from Toronto to Louisville.
Yeah.
And then so one day I called her and said, hey, my girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend and I were going to come up and visit him on the way into Toronto. And just it was like right out of one of those, like, what was that, Kathy Bates movies? Or what's that?
Oh, man. I know what you're talking about, where she broke the guy's legs. I'm your biggest
Misery.
fan. Yeah, Misery.
Misery. Yeah. So her voice just switches. Like, dude, it was the stuff of a freaking horror movie. She's like, what do you mean, girl? What do you mean, girlfriend? She's like, I thought we were in love. I thought we were going to live happily ever after. I'm like, I go, whoa. What do you, slow your roll, lady. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I go, I changed my mind. I'm not visiting Kamala. I'm going to come grab Kamala. He's coming with me. So she's like, fine. And she lived like on the outskirts of Detroit, which was like the perfect place because like I'd cross in Detroit, go Windsor to Detroit from, Toronto to Windsor, Detroit, and then down into Louisville. So it was just a good spot to board him and whatever. And so anyway, so I pull up there and she lived like in the outskirts, like the rural area, like just on the outskirts of Detroit. So when I had always gone to visit Kamala, like the lights were all on, like it was kind of like a little ranch house, like you could see everything just fine, whatever. And so I pull up there, me and my girlfriend, and it's pitch black. Like you can't see 2 inches in front of your face. And I'm thinking, I told her, I'm like, just wait in the car. I don't like this. This is weird.
This is some crazy rat.
So I get dude, I get out of the car and I'm walking towards your driveway, and literally I just about almost bumped into her. Like she was just standing there silent. And she was a big girl. Like I'm not making fun of anybody or whatever, but she was a big girl. And to use the word big is, she made big look small. Like, I mean, she was a big old girl. And I go, whoa, I stood back. Like it was like King Kong Bundy with a fucking wig, you know? And I go, whoa, I stepped back and I'm like, what the hell? And she just standing there, just like, I can't like just, yeah, it's like the stuff of a fucking horror movie, dude. I'm not even.
Oh my God.
And I go, where's Kamala? And he was always an awesome road dog. Like he'd get in the car, he'd flop down, he'd be lazy, he'd just hang out and look at the window. And he was awesome to be in the car with. And if I didn't see him for 5 minutes, he would like barrel me over. Like he's like, Dad, he'd come and run and fucking shoulder block me over. Like he was 200 and plus pounds.
Oh, I remember. Like, that guy was big, man.
Yeah, if I stood him up and slow danced with him, he was taller than I was. Like he was huge.
Yeah, I remember.
And so he didn't come running up, barreling me over. I was just like, where's my fucking dog? And she's like, he's here. And so I'm looking around.
He's
and
here?
So he stumbles toward. He's here. Like he's here somewhere. Whatever she said exactly, but like he's here. And I'm like, so get me my fucking dog. And so
this is
I was more eager to get him out of there. Dude. And so he kind of just waddled over to me. Like he didn't jump on me, but I wasn't registering that because I was so anxious just to get him the fuck out of there. I wanted to get out of there and I wanted to get him out of there. So I didn't even think about that. He didn't barrel me over or nothing, like all excited to see me like usual. So he just kind of flomped in the car. I'm like, and I just didn't look at her. I didn't look at that lady one time again. I just turned my back on her and I just got the fuck out of there. I didn't say another word to her, nothing. So we haul ass back to Louisville. And he's not moving at all. He's just laying there. But that was like, once he was in the car, that was normal. Like he was just a big, lazy, dog. And so I don't think much of that. So we get him back to my girlfriend's house and he just kind of went to sleep or whatever. And in the morning he was flopping around again. And so the girl had like 2 little kids. So they asked me, they said, hey, is it okay if I pet your dog? And he was like the sweetest, friendliest, guy ever. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead. And he kind of went underneath her deck, and which was weird. And again, I'm still not smartening up to anything,
Really?
I just was just happy to get him out of there and whatever. I just wasn't thinking of anything happening wrong.
Yeah.
And so the kid kind of sticks his head under the deck to go pet Kamala, and Kamala growls at him. And right there, I was just like, something's wrong. That's not his deal at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we called the vet, and there was literally a vet right across the street that was just like a neighborhood friend or whatever. So this vet lady comes right over, and she's like, we need to get him to the veterinarian. Like he's fucked up. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I think he's poisoned. Like, look at his tummy is all bloated. He's growling, and you say he doesn't ever growl. Like
what?
Something's wrong. So we get him to the vet, or before we can get him to the vet, like as the lady like pulls her car up to go, he died.
What?
And so we took him to the vet. Like she was the vet, but we took him there so she could run the test and do whatever and all that stuff. And she said, yeah, he was poisoned. Like,
oh my God.
And there was a sheriff. There was a sheriff there just coincidentally. And he goes, yep. He goes, I've seen it once. I've seen it 1,000 times. He goes, that's what we call like a girl crime. Like guys don't do that to other guys. Like that's what a vindictive girl would do to a guy and his dog. Like I see it all the time. Girls poison a guy's dog, like they break up or something, and they put motor oil on their dog food, and the dog thinks it's sweet and just laps it all up, doesn't know any better, and it just rots their gut and just turns them crazy and kills them.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That's fucking crazy. So I didn't know that, man.
Upset.
I mean, you've been friends for a long time.
Really,
like I said, you brought that dog to my house, and hell, I remember that dog and remember that little dog I had at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, and they were like yipping at each other and all this kind of stuff. And that dog was huge, man. I can't believe why would somebody do that?
And he was so sweet. He was so sweet, dude. And so as soon as he died, I was stupefied. I'm like, what the fuck? So I called up into Detroit to see if the cops could go up there or whatever. And cops did, but so she didn't get arrested. I don't know if she got arrested, but she didn't get any jail time, but she got a massive fine, and then she wasn't allowed to like breed dogs. You know, she had like a dog breeding license.
Got arrested.
That got yanked. Yeah,
she should have got arrested.
And
what's her name? Let's put her out there. What's her name?
I don't remember what her last name was, but her first name was Tracy, and she was just this fucking evil,
Tracy, the
crazy girl, like
dog douche.
So I guess when like animal control and the cops went up there, they found like all sorts of graves all over her front yard about all these fucking dogs. Like we just uncovered a fucking dude. We uncovered a nightmare.
Are you serious?
It was, yeah. I remember like I was on the phone with like one of my childhood buddies, as you know, is Edge, and we were talking on the phone. I'm like telling him I couldn't believe what I was telling him. And he had this big old Hummer. He's like, dude, let's get in my fucking Hummer. Let's just fucking smash your house down. Let's go straight run over, you know? And,
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and I had to like literally like, you know, somehow be the voice reason, be like, as much as I would love to run that bitch over and fucking smash her whole house down or whatever, like, I'm like, I don't want to get him or in trouble.
Crazy,
I don't want to get, you know, I just wanted her to be in trouble. I didn't want us to get in trouble. And you know how this planet Earth is, man, like, you know, it's always the victims that get fucked, and it's the criminals that get the red carpet. You know,
exactly. Amen. Yep.
That's crazy, man.
And I didn't want Adam or me to get in trouble.
You've always had like you've been with some of the like prettiest girls in wrestling and stuff like that. So what is it, man? Is it do you got a big giant Johnson, or is it your fucking like?
I think it's his heart, if I can tell.
I think it is too.
He's got a massive heart.
That's why I love him. I mean, I'd bang him.
I appreciate that, Wolfie. You know what? In that same breath, Adam, like Edge, whatever you want to call him, would always be like, dude, you attract crazy like a fucking magnet. So
the best.
He's like, I swear. He goes, maybe that's exactly the opposite to attract. So maybe your niceness just attracts evil. I don't know what the fuck it is. He goes, but every girl you date from now on, he's like, you're gonna have to sign a fucking form, like a waiver. I'm gonna have to like do like a what do you call it? like bet them or whatever.
NDA.
Yeah. So when I met Karen, he was just like, yep, that's the right one. Yeah, that's the one you need to be with.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, okay, well, all right. So Ed says
met her, but I'd like to like give her a few questions myself.
Karen, come here, woman.
Don't call her
so
woman.
As she was walking away, all 2 years, as she was walking out of so I'm in my little office area across from the kitchen, and she was walking in the living room just as she heard you guys talking about, oh, you did it, all whatever. She's just shaking her head, walking away. And what she didn't hear was, after I said that, you know, Adam's just like, you got to fill out a whatever questionnaire before I let you date anybody else. And then what she didn't hear was that as soon as Adam met him, Adam was just like, yeah, that's the one for you. I endorse this wedding. So, you know, so if it's okay with Edge, I married her. So it's cool with him. So I was like, sure, why not? So there you go. So they want to ask you questions. So you can come be on this pod. She's like, oh, they want to know questions about Karen. So come here and be on this podcast and answer some fucking questions.
Miss Karen. Hello, Miss Karen. Hello, this is Wolfie. This is Sinn's former partner. I would like to know.
Well, you're talking to my current partner.
I would like to know why you love my former partner so much.
He is the most. I am a spaz, okay? I have raging ADHD. I am a spaz, and he is so calm and just so chill and so tolerant of my nonsense.
Remember that when you fucking freak out next time.
Yeah.
He
keep going. Put me over.
He's liking this, yeah.
He slept on the floor for 3 or 4 weeks with a stray kitten that we trapped. He sleeps in the shed with baby chickens when their mom got killed.
Oh.
He brings home more stray animals than I do. And that's saying a lot.
Yes.
He bought me a goat for my birthday, which was the coolest fucking present anybody's ever got me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We have 7 dogs, and I think we feed 11 cats. We've got like 50 or 60 chickens.
That is awesome.
6
Let me tell you, he showed up at my house when I lived in Portland, Tennessee. And, me and him were going to be a tag team and all this kind of stuff. And he brought me this giant Kamala face thing that smushed my nose. And I wasn't really sure about it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. It looked great. Wasn't really sure, but he ended up being a really cool partner. And what I'll tell you about him, he's been a best friend for so long. What a good guy Nick is, man. And you, ma'am, are lucky to have him.
Can confirm. I agree.
Yes, I agree too. Is it his just love, or he's got a giant penis, or I mean, what's going on with him?
Well, that
helps. Awesome. Love you guys.
I don't think anybody else can put up with my bullshit.
Well, it's two for tango. So I think I can be an RC diva. I can be a, whatever. So I think we match each other pretty good.
And nobody in the house, I would sleep on the floor with a kitten, or let me trap kittens, or just go. Drove a couple months ago. Drove to San Bernardino, 2 hours away, to go to the animal shelter to just pick up a stray dog, just to bring it home.
Yeah.
There's nobody else in my entire 50 years on this planet that would do things like that with me.
He's a good man. He really is a good man. He's a very good man.
And that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason. It makes me laugh. And
he makes me laugh. He makes me laugh. I'm jealous of you. I'm jealous of you, Karen. I'm jealous of you, Karen.
You can share. It's okay. You can use the phone. Hopefully he won't sleep on the bathroom floor with you or anything, like a kitten. But
never say never.
We'll see.
Hilarious.
Wolfie just got fake boobs yesterday, so I might have to sleep on the floor with him and hold them for him.
You can sleep on the floor.
Massage them.
Okay.
Make sure he's healing nicely.
Yes, I am. I'm doing all right.
Good. You're a wrestler, so we're so used to putting our bodies through pain. So it's just, I don't think anybody ever kind of gauges, like, if we have a surgery or whatever, it's like, I think it's more fun just to sell, because we're really just going like, oh yeah, ow, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, you know what, man? This one, honestly, this shoulder surgery is compared to the hip and the knee was awful. This shoulder thing, I'm like, whatever. This is all right. I'm good with this.
Just sell in front of your old lady so you can get out of doing dishes or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have to do that anyway. We got a dishwasher. Her name's Michelle.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
When I was first hanging out with Karen and I did the dishes really crappy on purpose, so she's like, "You suck at this. Don't ever do that again. I'll just do it." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
He's really bad. He's really bad at. He's so fucking messy, right?
Is he messy?
So fucking
he's messy.
Yeah, he's messy as fuck.
Oh,
that's
my God.
There are a million things there. That is the only thing that he's bad at, is he's fucking messy as fuck, which is fine. I'll take it.
See, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with messy. I can't deal with messy.
I'm not messy.
You are messy as fuck.
I'm not messy.
Everything.
I can't deal with messy.
Piled up around him in a fucking pile, all around him. And if I put something away, he's like, where did you hide my stuff? Let's put it away.
Where I
awesome.
can't find it. I have a system.
Dude, I can't deal with messy.
T-shirts when you're fair.
And see, here's the thing. My girl has two teenagers that live here, and they're messy. And I can't fuck with messy. And so I have to fuck with messy.
She's not messy, though. Our teenager is not messy. She's not messy at all. She's pretty anal retentive.
I can't deal with it.
She's a bit of a bitch, but she's not messy.
She's 16. She's 16 going on 25.
She's fine. She's really responsible.
Yeah, she is.
She's super responsible. She's super smart, and
she's funny and talented and hardworking. Yeah.
But she's an almost 17-year-old girl. So she's got an attitude, but she's not terrible.
Heel.
She doesn't do anything wrong.
Oh.
She's super responsible and smart and hardworking.
He said heel. I heard that. I don't remember sometimes, but
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I hear you.
Better than being bad. Not a bad kid.
She's just so darn smart that she can like she's got her wits with it. Like I always kind of try to teach her to think like a worker. Like from the day one, I would kind of play what I called the bullshit game with her. I would say, okay, let's play the bullshit game. And I'd say it right in front of Karen, and I'd make up something, or I'd just tell her something. I'd say, now, am I lying, or is that a real thing? And she would guess right more than Karen would guess right. And Karen is a smart lady. And I'd say something, and Karen would be like, yeah, I think that's right. Pie, my kid Pie. Her name is Pandora. We call her Pie. And she'd be like, no, he's lying. That's not true. And no, Karen would be like, no, I'm pretty sure that's right. And I'm like, no, kid's right. I'm lying. That's bullshit.
That's funny.
She's like, shit.
Hey, let me ask you something, man. So you're doing the Portland thing?
Yeah, I am.
Jimmy, jump on here and tell me about that.
Yeah, it's the Portland Wrestling Expo with Captain's Corner, and it's Saturday, February 22nd, the Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, or 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. It's going to have great stars such as Ricky Santana, Mean Mike Miller, the Berserker, John Nord, and our guest today and good friend, Sinn Bodhi, man. Are you excited about Portland?
I am. I'm stoked to meet the Berserker. Out of all the wrestlers I've either been in a ring with, or been in a locker room with, or been in a car with, or just somehow, had that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with. He's one of the few dudes that I've just not ever met anywhere, not once.
Dude, you'll love him. Yeah.
Dude,
he's
that
amazing.
motherfucker is so funny. He was on our show.
Yeah, Jake loved him. Jake always puts him over.
Oh, yeah. My God, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's nonstop.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're gonna love that. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Have you worked with Nick in Captain's Corner? You have, I'm sure you've worked with him before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick's a good dude. We're very happy that you were working with Nick on this because we get to have you back on the show. That's the important part. So how long has it been since you've been to Portland?
I was there not too long ago for something else, for another show.
Yeah.
But that whole area is a really pretty area, a nice area. Like people are friendly or whatever. I wasn't, I was never there for any giant lengths of time. Just, the deal. You get on a plane, you fly in, you land, you put on your knee pads, you suplex somebody, you take your knee pads off, you get back on an airplane, and you fuck off and go somewhere else to do it again.
Yeah.
And that's how Portland was. It was, I don't know, a few weeks ago. It wasn't too long ago. I was up there not too long ago for like a regular, just for a wrestling show.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And weirdly too, I was up there a lot, like a long time ago for like Jim Rose Circus. I was up there because the Jim is from Portland, and we did this Jim Rose Circus loop, and we kind of started in Portland and then kind of did this big, huge loop around, and yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about you, man, is the whole circus thing you did, man. And you know what people say to me all the time is like, that thing where you threw darts into Sinn's back. Remember that in TNA? And it was like, dude, it wasn't that. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I thought it was weird at first, but then it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, you're just a carnival freak, dude.
I mean, as weird as wrestling can be on planet Earth on any given day, I suppose. But
yeah,
I mean, you were built for it.
Do you remember what I said when you were like, hey, throw these into my back? Do you remember what I said?
Remind me.
I was like, fuck no. I don't want to throw these darts in your back. You're like,
I think I remembered your Tennessee accent coming out, and I remember saying it, and I think you said, do what?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like, you were like, just throw these into my back. And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, just throw these into my back. And you showed them to me. And I mean, yeah, it was like for real darts. And I was like, okay, boom, boom, boom.
I just told you, just don't aim for the spine. Try to get me in the meat. Try to get I had the giant wing tattoos. So just aim for the tattoo.
I think I had good aim, didn't I?
Yeah, you were like, I was just like, yeah, just aim for the wings. And I just remember you going, I'm pretty good at darts. I go, well, then aim for the fucking wings.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick time out and get a word from one of my dope-ass sponsors, and we'll be right back with more Live and in Color with Wolfie D.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
The Portland Wrestling Expo will take place on Saturday, February 22nd at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport. The PWE will be a celebration of the unique past and present of the Pacific Northwest area. It's presented by Captain's Corner. Announced guests include The Grappler, Mean Mike Miller, Top Gun, Ricky Santana, Moondog Moretti, John Nord, and C.W. Bergstrom. There will even be a Portland Wrestling History Q&A. In addition, there'll be international guests such as Hall of Famers Eric Bischoff, Rikishi, crowd favorites like The Boogeyman, and Lance Von Erich. Make sure to head on over to pwexpo.com to get your tickets. VIP tickets are already half sold. The Portland Wrestling Expo on Saturday, February 22nd. Be there.
You know, speaking of something real quick, and you know, it's funny because I just saw that video on YouTube recently, and obviously YouTube has been such a important thing for us and for everyone about helping getting the word out about the podcast and stuff. But recently, it didn't do you many favors by the WWE Vault releasing this video of a match, and it was Flesh Gordon versus Kazarni. And what was up with that, man? Was he just off? He looks like kind of a low rent Scott Steiner. I am not knocking Flesh at all, but what was up with that match, man?
So again, Adam Edge, he had got me a dark match, and I was just so green to know like how, you know, over my head I was. Like, I don't think I had 30 matches under my belt.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I got a dark match? Yeah, cool, yeah, hell yeah, I want to do this. And so I'd wrestled Flesh a few times out of those, whatever it was, 30-ish matches, give or take. I wrestled a handful of them with Flesh, so it seemed to be pretty good. And he's a sweet guy. He's a very nice dude. And I know the cliche is like, hey, how is he in the ring? He's a nice guy, which is, code for he's the shits, which is, it's true. He's a shitty wrestler, but he's a super awesome dude. Really great guy. Just give you the shirt off his back. Just a good, awesome human. And so we had decent matches like out in the Maritimes and stuff like that. And so we get this dark match. So I think originally I was supposed to wrestle Christian.
Oh.
And then Sylvain Grenier was also having a dark match, but Pat Patterson wanted him to wrestle Christian because he wanted Christian to make him look good. And then so I got Flesh instead. So I was just too green. So I was nervous, but I was like fun nervous. Like I was just like, this is awesome. But Flesh was like kind of like scared stiff nervous. And I was just simply too green to know how to lead him through that. Like I tried to call my way through it. Like now I could wrestle a dude like that in my sleep, one hand tied behind my back. Like I can carry a big muscle bound dude that doesn't know a fucking thing in my sleep. Yeah. But not then. Then I was green as goose shit. I didn't know a fucking thing. Like I was still pretty darn green when I met Wolfie a couple years after that. So like, and I was the new guy when I met Wolfie. Like Wolfie was the veteran. I didn't know, fuck all. And Wolfie was cool enough to, teach me stuff, show me stuff. Him and Shane Douglas and Jim Mitchell, and Kid Cash, they really took me under their wing, and they didn't have to at all. They were super cool. Yeah. Which I appreciate to this day. But but the Flesh match, it was just like quicksand. Just one thing went wrong, next thing went wrong, and he was nervous. Like, and I didn't know he was nervous until a second after the bell rung. Like, I just looked at his face and I was just like, oh, fuck. And I started calling him, and Wolfie, you'll know, like being like an experienced wrestler, like if guys get so nervous, they get deaf. No matter, you could be talking to them plain as I'm talking to you right now, and their ears just aren't getting the info to their brain. Like they just freeze up. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that dude was 280 pounds jacked. Like I'm a big enough dude, but I'm not that big. And this, again, like nowadays I could move a dude like that around no problem, just out of like work rate and just knowing what I'm fucking doing. Then I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it was
right.
just like one thing after another, and I just trying to get it back on the rails, and it was off the rails.
Yeah.
And it was shitty, and I'm not putting all the. It's absolutely two to tango. You know, he was super nervous, but I was too green to know how to lead him out of that. So in fact, I won't put the heat on him. I'll take the heat, saying I just was too green to know how to lead that dude, and I was in there to be the caller, to lead the match. Like he never. I don't think he ever called a match in his life or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he did after that, but not up to that.
Yeah, just a bad situation. I saw it. I watched it, and I was like, I mean, because obviously me and you have worked together and stuff like that, and I watched it, and I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, I felt bad for you.
until like, I don't know, whatever, a couple months ago when it somehow surfaced on the internet. I hadn't seen it in like going on, whatever it is, 20, 25 years. I hadn't seen it, but in the back of my head, like I just had it as motivation. Like I'm never going to be, in that situation ever again. Like I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to learn every fucking thing about this business. So you put me in there with a 500-pound guy, a 100-pound guy, a fast guy, a funny guy, a sexy guy, a scary guy, whatever. I'm going to be able to know how to handle it. And like, you can put me in there with some 70-year-old, star from the 80s, or you could put me in there with some cruiserweight, some luchador, some big fat comedy guy, whatever. I'll pull a match out of whoever, no problem. I will humbly say I work with anybody now. And that was like motivation. That night, I'm like, I'm going to learn every fucking thing about this business.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything, but I do know a lot more than I knew back then.
Yeah.
And
sure.
that was just motivation. Like I was just going to be grumpy until I figured it out. And boy, oh boy, I just was hell-bent after it.
And so just to kind of piece it together, that was before TNA. Then you go to TNA, and then you come back to WWE, basically. Is that how that worked? So that was like literally just right after they switched from WWF to WWE. So I was kind of like, oh man, I was like, I really wanted to wrestle at WWF. Like I didn't give a fuck to wrestle at WWE. Like, what is it? Yeah. And what does the first words Edge say to you when you get to the back? I'm not even worried about Vince or Pat or any of those guys. I'm just curious what your buddy's saying to you, man.
He's like, get the fuck out of here. Go fucking hide. Get out of everybody's sight. Let them forget what happened. Get the fuck out of here. Like just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. That's what friends are for, man. Well, okay, so we've talked so much about Wolfie, his career. We've heard all the different details about it, and how he started. He trained with Rick Reynolds, Gypsy Joe, and his stepfather, and then he ends up getting into the USWA, and that's where he learns the business, and that's where he learns with Danny Davis. And not to put Wolfie in the same category as Danny, but would you say that Wolfie kind of, when you were working with him, that he, I know you had your boys, Adam, Christian, all those guys, but, and I'm only calling him Adam because that's what they call him on AEW now. I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But my point of the matter is, did you kind of get something from Wolfie through that? Like you picked up some stuff from him as you got with him?
Oh, dude. Absolutely. I certainly did. I'll even, and it's not because Wolfie's on the line and Adam or Christian aren't, but I got way more working knowledge from Wolfie. Adam and Jay, or Edge and Christian, whatever you want to call them, like we more like, or childhood buddies, and we kind of didn't, like after they were at WWE, like we just more talked about life stuff. We didn't talk about wrestling a whole lot. Like, again, my dogs are freaking out. I don't know. I talked more wrestling with the guys I was wrestling with, or the legends that I got to wrestle. I would learn from like different wrestlers on the road. Like I wasn't around them because I was on the indie scene trying to learn my craft, and they were already at WWE.
Yeah.
So we weren't, guys, what's going on? Mochi, relax.
After the story earlier, those dogs can say whatever they want on this show, brother.
No shit. No, I never get mad at them for like barking at people walking. We're here on an acre, and so like every once in a blue moon, maybe like somebody on a bike or something, or driving by or walking by or something. But it's few and far between, and I never yell at my dogs for barking at people. Like I want people to know there's I've got a big, huge pit mastiff here with got some smaller dogs, and I've got a pit wawa, if you can figure out what that is. But I've got a big old pit mastiff, oxbaker Winklebeans.
Nice.
And I never get hot at him for barking. I always I don't bark at the cats, stuff like that. But you can bark at people all you fucking want.
Eat them.
That's your job. Yeah. Well, he loves me and my wife and my kid, and fucking hates everybody else. Like, he is not like Kamala. Kamala was the sweetest boy ever. Where Ox is super sweet to me and my kid and my wife. And I pity the fool that sticks his head in my window.
Fool.
What a better name, though. Ox. I love Ox Baker, man. God, wrestling is. I love wrestling because of people like Ox Baker and you and Wolfie and all you guys. You know, but it's.
Thanks. No, for sure. And that right there is my pit wawa that's barking up. Most. All right. Okay, you're going outside. Relax. Like, put me over. I want to go outside. This little pit wawa, her name is Mochi. She was like our harshest rescue.
Yeah.
So when she was, I guess she must have been like not quite 3 weeks old, some fucking asshole, like she was barking, like she just was barking. And some asshole that had her in the first place got mad at her, picked her up and threw her against the wall and put her in a coma. And my stepdaughter is a vet tech in Vegas. And when the guy brought her in, he kind of said what happened, and she's like, "You better get the fuck out of here, or you're not ever getting this dog back again. If you come back, call the cops." Man. And so she raised this little dog out of a coma, and like it was about 6 or 7 weeks later. Well, we were there, I don't know, getting shots for somebody or whatever we were doing, and we see this little girl, and she's tiny. Like, she at that stage of the game, like I can't imagine how big she was when that asshole threw her against the wall. Like, because when I got her. Like, she could fit in the palm of my hand. Like, she looked like a hamster. And I'm like, there's no, like, they told me, they said she was a pit wawa. I'm like, there's no way this fucking gerbil is a pit wawa. Like, no way. And sure enough, she grew up to be, like, she's little, but she's yoked. Like, she's all gassed up. And she's super sweet and she's super smart. But I guess with the brain damage from that coma, she kind of goes from zero to hero real quick. Like, she bows up real quick. Like, she goes from baby to heel super lightning quick. So she can't be around the other dogs except for she's around Ox, because Ox is huge. Like, she could get all mad and he just thinks it's funny. But our other little dogs, like, we can't have her around her because she just looks at them the wrong way and she just goes all Bobby Boucher on them, and so we have to have them separated. So
Bobby Boucher, yes, that's a great example.
Her medulla oblongata is no bueno. So
no bueno. So
she revs up pretty quick. I guess she's super sweet, but the little dogs were kind of dickheads to her when she was like tiny, and now that she's yoked and twice her size, she's like, "I'll fucking eat you." And so we keep that like.
Well, okay, we can't talk to Sinn Bodhi. And by the way, your name cracks me up. I love it. First of all, it's a great name, a great wrestling name. But I always mess up where the H is in your last name. So it's either, and I always put it too early. So every time I type your name or write your name down, I'm always like, wait till the I. Right before the I, that's where you put the H. And that's how I remember your last name, Sinn. So anyway, beyond that, I'm sure you're going to have a ton of LJNs in Portland. What do you got that you're working on right now that you're fired up about?
Just made Bruno Sammartino, Undertaker, Gorgeous George. Everybody seems to really be liking that Gorgeous George.
Yeah, I liked it. It was nice. Yeah.
And I just had this idea, and I thought, you know what? I bet you. Okay, so before I even say this, I'll rewind and say, like, so how I kind of make a few bucks off these things is what, like, if I make an old school guy from the 80s or whatever it is that I like, just make that one-off for me. Like, if I want to make a Hillbilly Jim or a Gorilla Monsoon or whatever, I just make it for me, and I'll post it. And then what'll happen 9 out of 10 times is people will go, "Hey, that's really neat. Could you make me or my partner or my wife or my husband or whatever?" So just because I posted a Hillbilly Jim or a Gorilla Monsoon or whoever, it's not usually the one that I'll sell. It's usually I'll 10 indie guys will call me and want one of themselves or something like that. So that's where I'll make my few bucks on. And then once in a blue moon, I'll sell the one that I made, and then I just might make another one for myself, and then that's it. Like, I don't ever, like, if I was going to mass produce any of these things, I would Iggy the guy. Like I do that for Jake the Snake. I do that for Ric Flair.
Yeah.
You know, anybody else, I would make a one-off. And if I was going to make more than that, I would Iggy the guy and be like, "Hey, would you like one of these things?" Or, "Hey, do you want me to make some of these for you?" But otherwise, 9 out of 10 times I just make an indie guy.
Yeah.
So having said that, so I just had this funny idea where I just thought, with the election and all this stuff and whatever. So I made that Captain America, Superman, Trump.
It's so cool, by the way.
Cute idea.
Yeah.
Oh, pulling his shirt open like Superman. But I figured I don't need to put Superman. He's president, so I'll put the Captain America thing. So I just kind of cross-pollinated some superheroes. I just thought it was a cute idea. Made it, and I figured some fans would go, "Oh, that's cute. Could you make me one?" And I'm pretty sure. And I even tagged him in. I tagged Donald Trump in it too. It's not like I'm trying to hide it or bootleg off the dude or whatever. Like, if you wanted me to make 1,000 of these for him, I certainly would.
Right.
But I just sent it to him to see, like, if the president likes it, that would pop me. That'd be cool. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure if he got wind of it, I don't think he would send the FBI after me or anything. I think he'd just be like, "Oh, cool. Some guy likes me and made something cool for me. I just got elected and went through all this horse shit to get there." So anyway, so I go back to this figure.
Canadian
I posted
guy.
this figure.
Yeah, this Canadian tattooed
Canadian guy,
Warlord of Weird,
the 51st state.
I'll say openly right here, fuck Trudeau. I'm glad that fucker's gone.
And we just got deplatformed from YouTube, but whatever.
Well, Dana White's now on the new Facebook board of directors, right? So I think he's going to let whatever fly on Facebook. So.
Good.
I mean, YouTube's still a bunch of cronies, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I can see many people wanting to buy that. And honestly, the cool thing is you've got 4 years still and further, because I think people are fans of him. That one could be one of your biggest sellers, honestly.
So I sold a few of them. But the funny part about it was, like, I didn't write any harsh political thing with it. I just put, here's the Trump LJN, check it out, whatever. And to see all the comments, and like I posted in some of those LJN pages, whatever. I posted on my page. And so a lot of comments were like, "Oh, this is awesome." And then so many comments were these fucking nerdy pussy ass white dudes for Harris crying about a fucking toy.
Trolls.
Like, talk about your first world problems, bro. Like, y'all the assholes that got Dukes of Hazzard canceled, you fucking pussies. Like, you have nothing better to do than cry about a toy. Like, your life must be so good. Like, you're not getting fucking shelled by Russia every fucking night. You're not getting whipped in some lithium mine in fucking China or Africa every fucking night. You're sitting there with your $300, $400, $500 Jordans playing and crying on your $1,000 iPhone. You fucking
This is why I love you. This is why I love you, because you've told me a couple of times about the living in Canada and the socialism and all that shit. It's like bullshit, right?
Total bullshit. You can't. I couldn't say that up in Toronto. Fucking Trudeau would send his bunch of liberal Nazi cops after me to shut me down. Like, they shut down churches and businesses for trying to. I'm not even a church guy, and I was offended that they would do that. Or like when those truckers, all those truckers were trying to do was just feed people and feed their families and get stuff to people, and they just got so vilified. I think their only mistake was that when they kind of clogged up the border, I thought that was a mistake. I think, but when they sat in Ottawa and protested, and all they did was just single Canada and fucking dance around in the snow. And, of course they send I'm sure Trudeau and his goons, sent like some actor with a Nazi flag. Oh, look, they're all Nazis, just like they did at that tailgate party they like to call the insurrection. Just like who shows up with Viking horns and clown paint to and no guns to an insurrection? Go fuck yourself. Like, wake up, idiot.
Right. What do you think about him? Trudeau stepping down.
Good fucking riddance to Fidel's kid. Fuck him.
Yeah.
He's really fucked up my motherland. I am a proud dual citizen.
And we're glad to have you, brother. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was funny when I got my citizenship. It was my proudest day here, and I remember D'Lo Brown was the first one to text me, and he just goes, "Congratulations, bro! Now you can go to jail like the rest of us." I'll kid you not. Something that was really like always a stress for me was like I never wanted to fight anybody or anything like that. I really try to be a nice, easygoing dude. But while I was on a visa or on a green card or whatever, if somebody like tried to mug me, and if I beat the shit out of them, I would get deported.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I tippy-toed around like a fucking red-headed stepchild, like trying to keep my nose clean. And I'm always going to try to behave and take the high road and be a good person. But like, now I don't have to worry about that. Burglar sticks his head in my house, I'm keeping that fucking head. That's how that's going to go. You know?
And you live in that weird world of outside of Vegas. I see that all the time.
Oh, dude.
It's like Mad Max.
Oh my God!
I'm on the edge of Death Valley, and so in the Nevada side where there's
but the
like
cops
you can just defend your fort.
Cops thing that's always on there.
Oh yeah, they're like, you can shoot the hell out of a burglar here. Like we're not gonna, you don't have to sign a waiver and ask him, hey, do you need your TV? Do you need my TV more than I do because you came up harsh or whatever? Fuck you.
Yeah.
If I invite you to my house, what's mine is yours. Here's my fridge. Here's my bathroom. Put your feet up, relax. But if you stick your head in my window unannounced, again, you're not getting a fat lip or a shiner. Like I'm gonna, you know.
You and Karen are gonna hit him with one of those clown gimmicks, those big hammers.
That's right. That's right. Like she's always.
You're thinking of
she's got something
Gallagher.
She's got something better than a clown hammer. She's always strapped. Like I got a joke with her before. Like she'd even be strapped doing the dishes. I'm like, why are you strapped doing the dishes? She's like, bro, you never know. And I'm like, okay. And so between my little tiny wife being perpetually strapped, my 100+ pound pit mastiff, and then little old Warlord of Weird walking around here who's, I mean, I'm not Chuck Norris, but I can handle my shit, you know. And so there you go. So good luck, burglar. I fucking dare you.
That's awesome.
That's how I always joke about my fanny pack. I'm like, it comes with a built-in burglar alarm system. Me. If you can get it, you fucking earned it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Well, stop by Captain's Corner, where you can get autographed photos, cards, magazines, and figures from all of your favorite wrestling superstars of the past, present, and future. You'll also be able to participate in live signings in the weeks and months to come. Make sure to stop by Captain's Corner on Facebook and give us a holler. Remember, cheers to the working man.
I can't let you go before we talk about this. One of the things, and this was actually kind of, about a year ago now, maybe even a little bit longer, the most inventive, original idea of something that has caught half the world on fire before, something that has had many bloopers of losing the thing in the air. Well, you all made sure that the gender reveal went through that night. Who set that up? That was genius. I loved that.
Oh, thanks, man. So it was funny because I just shaking my head like out of all the fucking crazy weird stuff, and Wolfie would know, out of all the crazy weird shit that I've ever come up with, that's the fucking thing that goes viral. Like I just shake my head, you know, sitting here on planet Earth, you know, okay. So it was for a YouTube show called Dude Dad, which I guess has a pretty darn good form. Like I didn't know what it was at first, and then I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, this is really awesome. And the guy and the wife, they were super cool. So they had asked a friend of mine who's a comedian in LA, who kind of dabbled in pro wrestling. So he did freak show wrestling on the regular. His name is Shane Hartline. He's a really great comedian, really funny comedian, an actor in LA. Yeah. And so the Dude Dad guy reached out to him. I guess they were buddies or something, and said, hey, can you get another comedian or somebody to do this gender reveal, kind of like a funny, like a wrestling match? And he goes, I'm going to get Sinn Bodhi. Like, that's the only guy that could do this. Like, we can do this together. It'll be fucking awesome. Yeah. So he's like, okay, yeah, I'll trust you. So he didn't know me and I didn't know him. And so Shane called me and was just like, hey, do you want to wrestle me at a kid's party and do like a legit gender reveal? I'm like, yes, I do. So we literally put it together. Like I flew into, it was just outside of Denver. So I flew into Denver. I took an Uber, like an hour out of Denver, get to the Dude Dad's house where they film their stuff and whatever. they legit didn't know what was going on, like who was going over. They didn't know if it was going to go pink or blue. So me and Shane talked about, some ideas for about 10 minutes. And then about 20 minutes later, about 100 kids show up and parents and all that stuff. And we go out, we literally did it in one take, however long it took, about 10 minutes or so. And I literally walked, back into their living room and their wherever, and I got changed. I got into another Uber, went all the way back to the airport and flew back to Vegas. I was home that night, and that was that. And it was cool because the dude, that guy, and him and his wife, they were super cool. And they kind of like worked along, played along. They didn't know anything about wrestling or whatever. They just let me and Shane kind of do what we were going to do. And I think it turned out cute. It was fun. It was silly. The kids enjoyed it, I think, and it was ridiculous. And good payday. It was nice. So and again, that's the fucking thing that goes viral. Of course, that's the thing that goes viral. I just had an idea, and I had it right here on Live and in Color. So I had a fan message me, and so sometimes, like just not too long ago, somebody asked me to make a Kazarni LJN. I'm like, okay, like I wasn't going to make one, I'd rather make a Gorilla Monsoon or a Hillbilly Jim, to be honest, but the guy asked for one. So I'm like, okay. So I made it. And then this promoter dude asked me to make, he saw it. He goes, hey, I'm going to do an appearance for him. Not the Portland thing, something else. But maybe I should just bring it to the Portland thing too. And he goes, hey, can you make like the bald-headed tattooed, modern version of you? And can you make the Kazarni you? And can you make the Freak Show Wrestling you, like with the long hair and the top hat and all that stuff? So I thought, okay, so I made that. So I'm just painting those up as they're ready to be painted and everything. But I just had an idea. I should make the gender reveal Sinn Bodhi in the pink tutu. I should make that.
Yes, you should definitely. And I loved that you wore the pink. I loved that. I thought that was like, yes, he's representing the female gender right now. It's so awesome.
That's right. I am a diva, So.
Yeah. So, and you are going to have some of your LJNs in Portland. Are you going to?
Hey, I'll have a few. They're a pain in the ass to fly with and travel. Like traveling in a car, no big deal, but I'm flying in, so I'll have as many as I can.
Yeah, I figured you would. I figured you would. Yeah, they're a lot to deal with. Wolfie, you got something else, man?
Will you make one of us, me and you, as the new church? That's what I want.
Sure will.
No, that's what I really want.
When I made that one, I made that Wolfie D, or I guess it was a slash one. Really, it wasn't a Wolfie D one. But, that was fun. That was a while ago. I learned a lot since then. So it's neat. Like it's just like wrestling or like anything. I guess you just the more you do something, the more tricks you learn, and the more little things you come up with.
And I love it. I've still got it in my little my shrine. But I'd love to have one of me and you at the time or whatever. Like to make it look cool, because your shit's gotten so much better, man. We've talked about it. I'm trying to download that program to like start building stuff like that, just to see if I can do it. But yeah, man, your stuff is so cool. Me and you's our art style is a little different, but I think like the way we do stuff could be cool together. We did the what's his face's thing together,
Well, that's I think any good tag team is like that. You don't need two mirror images. You need a Ricky and a Robert. You need a Matt and a Jeff.
Right.
You need a jumping Jim and Ryan. You need an Act and a Smash.
Yeah.
What's his face's name that we did together?
Conrad Thompson.
Yeah, Conrad. Sorry, I don't mean to disrespect him, but yeah, he did the figure, and I did the artwork on the faceplate or whatever you want to call that. So yeah, we tag teamed that, and that was cool. I'd like to do like the awesome clay today. We were at Hobby Lobby. And I told my girl, because clay was on sale for like 40% off, and I was like, "Here's a 10-pound thing. I'd like to do some clay," because I did that as a kid when I was in high school. I made this really cool wrestler thing that everybody loved and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just know I can do it with my fingers, but you know, what you do digitally is a little different. So I'm trying to learn that, and you're trying to help me.
It's so similar. You just have to learn some of the computer stuff you basically have to trick the computer into to understanding what's in your brain. So like if you got your hands on the clay, you know, your fingers are manipulating the clay to your brain's satisfaction. Whereas like when you're using the mouse and just knowing a couple different, like the different brushes or the different techniques or whatever to know how to manipulate it. But you really are sculpting with your hands digitally. It's neat. Like I don't use those fancy pens. I just use the mouse. And a lot of guys are like, how the fuck do you do that? I just you know, whatever. But you're moving the clay around. It's literally digital clay, and that's what you're doing.
Just remember doing it in high school, and like I had a little I put the like a little frame in there, like with some kind of frame in there, and then I built around it with clay, and I built this wrestler, and everybody was like, that's so awesome. I mean, I even had it down to on his forehead, he had a Band-Aid on his forehead, you know, where he had been cut and stuff. Everybody loved it. So all right, man. Hey, appreciate you, Sinn. I love you, man. Thank you for being my new church buddy. And Jimmy, can you throw it out to the Portland thing that Sinn's going to be at?
Yes, sir. One more time, the Portland Wrestling Expo with Captain's Corner. It's on Saturday, February 22nd at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. You're going to get to see our great buddy, the Warlord of Weird, the awesome one, Sinn Bodhi. Sinn, it'll be fun, man.
Guys. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for having me. I'm looking forward to going back to Portland.
Yeah.
Fun times, man. I love you, man. And thanks for getting on here with me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Anytime.
Thank you,
church
Sinn.
rides again. Church rides again.
New church, baby.
Hey, Sinn, I was out in Vegas last February, and my wife and I, she's a massive U2 fan. Let's not get into all that. But anyway, we went to watch U2 at the Sphere, and I am dying for someone to do wrestling at the Sphere, bro. My God.
Dude, I think that would be so awesome. I thought, I had, fantasies about doing freak show wrestling at that Sphere.
Oh, my God. That would be incredible. Yeah.
Anyway. And to your point about the cracking jokes about, whatever, so I'll crack my jokes, but I think people just need to just relax and lighten up. I think everybody's so divisive, you know.
Sure.
I'll crack my jokes. I'll crack my white dudes for Harris jokes or whatever.
Sure.
You know, I'm not red or blue, dude. I'm a proud U.S. Dual citizen. I like so many people on both sides of the aisle. I think there's awesome people and shitheads in every flavor, shape, and size.
Amen.
You know.
Amen.
You know,
couldn't agree more.
Be a good, be a good human, you know, and that's it. Then we'll be cool. I try to be. I'm not gonna say I am, but I'll say I do try.
You're my favorite human, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. No,
thank you,
dude,
man.
I've known Wolfie for 100 years, and he's been so cool to me. He's not ever been anything but a good brother. So thank you, Wolfie.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I may put my headphones in and go to sleep, but I still love you.
Thank you.
You've earned it. You had that. What did you have that yesterday? You got the fake boobs or the penis enlargement or whatever you did.
I got the penis enlargement and fake boobs.
Well, thank you, brother. We'll talk to you soon, man. And we'll get you on again. And it doesn't have to be for Nick next time. We'll just get you on to have you on. So
all good. Anytime.
Thank you.
Love you, boys.
Love you guys. Happy New Year.
All right, folks. So we will be back here in a minute to talk about the Netflix Monday Night Raw, the very first Raw on Netflix, and what our thoughts on that were. And once again, thanks to Sinn for coming on for us. And we'll be right back.
DJ, hit the music.
It's a current affair. It's a current affair. Lavender in color. It's a current affair.
All right, we are back with current affairs in 2 recent episodes. I don't know what's going on. The world is turned upside down, but maybe it's a good sign because there's new original stuff happening in pro wrestling. Now, to start things off, basically, we're going to talk about Raw on Netflix. But did you notice that AEW has now got a partnership with Max, which they've already been with the WB, so that's not a stretch. But they've got a partner now. They're streaming on Max, so it's like they didn't want to get too far ahead with other people. But the cool thing is they're running smaller venues. I think they're kind of figuring out that it looks better on TV to have a fuller crowd. And, you know, but enough about AEW. Let's talk about the big dogs here. So with that being said, we had Raw on Netflix, the very first one. How was it, man? What'd you think?
I thought it was really good. It had the feel of it was, I don't want to say WrestleMania, but I mean, it was definitely a pay-per-view feel, or excuse me, a PLE feel. Very much. You know, it was 3 hours long, and you only got 4 matches out of that. So
I know.
That's the one thing that I know they got to do it. And if I'm gonna, you know, say one thing I didn't like was just the amount of commercials it felt like. You know,
right. I know.
I wish they could like do the little picture-in-picture thing or something at least. You know, leave where you're still seeing the wrestling. While they're doing the commercial or something. I don't know, but that's the one part that was kind of like, fuck, another commercial. Because it pisses me off just in general. If I'm paying for a streaming service, I hate fucking commercials anyway, you know?
Yeah, so. And I'm paying for the version that doesn't have the commercials, and I still get commercial. And I was thinking, how are they going to do that? Because there are people that get basically the cheapest version of Netflix just to get it, and they accept the commercials. And I understand that. I'm not knocking. I could be that way tomorrow, man. But, you know, when it comes down to it, I was like, how are they going to make that work? And I was just thinking, man, they're just going to cram commercials on us, I'm sure, you know. Yeah. But anyway,
the set looked cool. The way it looked and everything. The presentation was great, man. You know, you had a lot of Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart, who else? Rock, you know. For some reason, I thought Stone Cold was supposed to be there, but I guess not. But, you know, everybody's talking about it, man. It hurt my feelings when them motherfuckers started booing Hulk Hogan.
I know, man. You sure that wasn't just Jimmy Hart they were booing?
I felt bad for him, man. It's like, because you know, everybody's got their theory of why. But I don't know. It was just kind of shitty. And I don't think that would have happened anywhere else other than California. I really don't. Yeah. You know, don't want to make it a political thing, but I feel like that's what it was. You know, and people are, the Undertaker supported him, and so did Logan Paul, and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but they also weren't on the Republican National Convention either. Right.
Yeah.
But, and they
also weren't like the number one babyface for decades. Like,
right.
You know, they're icon, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, then there's the racial stuff, but I feel like, you know, we've given Tessa Blanchard a second chance. We've given plenty of other people second chances on that one. And come on, man, you know.
I mean, do you feel like the higher they were on the ladder, the harder the fall? Is that?
I mean, that could be it too. But who knows, man? But yeah, I just kind of felt bad for him.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. That was my damn hero you were booing right there, y'all. So, I mean,
and it's like fucking poor Jimmy Hart. He don't know nothing to do with it.
Hey, Hulk, baby, what we gonna do? Hulk, baby, brother, I think the ride might be over. Hulk, let's go. Let's head on home.
Yeah, there was Hulk, he just looked so like he didn't even rip that shirt all the way off, and when he turned around and walked back, it was like hanging off of his waist.
Yeah, he's like, y'all don't get it.
He looked defeated.
Yeah, he's like, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get the full rip. Sorry.
I'd love to have been at Gorilla when they came back. I'd love to know what was said by him and others. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
How they, you know, fuck them, or you know, I wonder what was said. I really do.
Or the guy standing over the corner just being like, golly, glad I'm not that guy. Jeez, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. But so on to some of the matches. I thought they led off with a really good one with a whole lot of, run-ins and shit with the Bloodline and Roman, which, you know, good match, man. And you know what? I felt like, and I don't mean to write this one off too much, but going to the next match, Rhea and Liv, man, they were laying shit in, man. And I felt like that way all night. But then especially I thought for girls, that was a damn good match. And they were laying their shit in, man.
Yeah, the only women's match on the card, and they were going to keep it snug for sure.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
Completely.
Yeah.
Hell of a match.
I mean, and your girl won the title back. I almost feel like this show was a little bit of a great refresh. You know, it was like Roman got his Ulafala back, and then Rhea won her title back. Jey Uso beat Drew McIntyre. You know, all that stuff. But anyway, the Rhea Ripley match was a good match. I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, and Jey Uso, what a complete repackaging of that guy over the past year.
Seriously,
because you remember when him and his brother had that match against each other with the bazillion super kicks and all that shit. It was fucking horrible, you know?
Yeah,
and I thought neither one of them were over, nothing. Now this dude's got, a whole new appearance and a whole new energy about him, and he's over as fuck, man. And it's I think it's just a complete repackaging and shows just how the WWE can do shit like that, man, where others can't. They don't. WWE's always been good at that, man.
Even if you don't see the curve, you don't see it. You know that at the end of his progression there, you see the curve, how it happened now. But it's funny, you don't notice it, and I guess that's just life, right? But it's cool to see how it naturally changed to him, being over. And I mean, he, I think he probably is the more marketable brother, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I just feel like right time, right place, and he took advantage of it, man. So and they beat Drew, and I don't know what they're doing with Drew. I feel like Drew has kind of reached that upper level that he's like kind of the guy that puts over people now or something.
Yeah,
but
and I mean, you can't ever second guess it. I mean.
Right.
I felt like, like you said, Rhea got her belt back, fucking Punk went over, it's like, it was just a feel good one,
Yeah.
Here's the happy Raw first time. Let's leave them happy, type
deal. That was it. I think you even said that, didn't you? You were like, it was like make everybody happy show, and CM Punk going over on Seth Rollins. That was going to be a questionable one because right now, is Seth just being like, hey, look, I'm the Shawn Michaels. I'll put people over. I'll let, this guy win or whatever. Or was CM Punk going to put him over and, I'm the aging gunfighter. Let me put Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Is he? I'm not saying Punk don't have anything left in him, but I mean, is that where they're going? Is he going to keep wrestling? So what's the point in putting him over? If done, or I don't know if he is or not. I'm just saying, what's the point here? Because I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. But I mean, Punk he's 46, so I mean, he's not a spring chicken, man. But again, if he's still got something in him, I think the thing about him with everything is just the people love him, man.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. But, anyway, where it goes, no one knows. But I will say that I've enjoyed the ride so far. And I thought that was an incredible, I haven't watched Raw in a month or so, even maybe longer, so.
Yeah, me either. I thought that John Cena's interview was really good, too. He was on fire.
Yeah. I think he's going to do a retirement where he actually goes away for good, probably, but I don't know. Never say never, right?
And I also think that I would have liked to have seen, because it was weird. Undertaker came out when Rhea won, basically just drove right by her and goes around the ring and then goes back to her, and then they have interaction or whatever. I'm like, why didn't she get on the back of that and ride with him or something? That would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It just seemed weird that he drove past her.
I know.
She just won, and he just kind of drove past her, and then stops at the end. Oh, right. Yeah, hey, good job.
What are you doing?
I didn't know you were out here.
I was just taking a lap on my
they told me go.
That's funny. Oh, my God.
But I enjoyed it, man.
What would you give the
Here's my next question, though, that I was thinking, how are they going to follow this?
Yeah.
I mean, is this what we can expect every week? That's sure a high bar to set it at,
Their heads will explode, man. Seriously, I don't know if they can do that. I don't think they should. Honestly, what would you do if you're the booker and you would? What would you do next, man?
I don't know. I don't know where they're headed.
They just hot shotted the territory, basically.
Yeah, I was expecting some blood too.
Yeah. And did you see Travis Scott just smoking a straight blunt on TV?
Yeah. Yeah. Although, I'm like, who is this dude? I don't know who he is.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I just know him because they announced him is all. So, yeah. I don't know much the modern rapper, they should say. So.
I do not either. Yeah. But, yeah, man, it's good.
What do you give a grade? What did you grade that episode?
Man, it's, for sure an A, maybe A+. I mean.
Yeah.
Even though, I know people, there's only 4 matches, man.
Right.
But the 4 matches fucking meant something,
Yeah, PLE level matches. I think they'll probably have more matches in the future. But I think with the focus on these 4, really, if you look at it right now, that is your current pillar of wrestling. I mean, you didn't have Cody and Kevin, even though Cody and Kevin were involved. You're looking at the picture of your wrestling right now. So, I'd say it's pretty strong for them. So I think I agree with you, man. I think a solid A is what they deserve for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll be tuning in again next week to see if they can follow it.
Yeah, we'll see what they do, and maybe we'll talk about it again. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
We might have to start dropping our show on a different day.
Yeah.
To keep up with this Raw shit if we're going to keep watching it.
Delayed.
But it also, I'll tell you what, man, I know I read something where they're saying, Hunter, there's no time, it's not going to be 3 hours every week. It could be, they were saying 45 minutes. I mean, I really don't see how that could be a thing, but it did seem long. And I don't know that I want to sit and watch Raw for 3 hours every week. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Regardless of how good it is. Yeah. But 3 hours and all those commercials was kind of you know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if they want to keep up with that pace of 3 hour Raws with the greatest stuff, I cannot recommend Magic Mind more. So go out there, right?
You need some focus for that.
Yeah, you definitely need some focus for that. So go out there and get yours right now.
Take the sleep one right about when the main event starts.
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, we're doing the January Mental Wealth Challenge. There's no better time to start right now. Make 2025 the year you build your mental resilience, improve your sleep and your clarity with Magic Mind. It's magicmind.com, live in code JAN for 45% off for the 24-hour pack. That's a focus shot and a sleep shot. Magicmind.com, y'all, /live in code JAN, LIVEINCO JAN. Get it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Probably could have said it.
Thanks, guys.
Get your sleep on, and we'll check it out next week and probably talk about it again. I'm not going to promise we'll do that every week, but I do want to see the follow up to see how they follow it straight up. How they gonna follow it. All right, Jimmy. Well, I'm gonna head out. I got some errands to run. I'm gonna have to hit the grocery store because I know everybody's wiped it out because we're expecting about 4 to 8 inches tomorrow. So
nice.
I hope this should be a good snow. I like it when it's good snow. We had ice and shit last time, snow and then ice and then rain, and it was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a good snow, a good 24-hour snow.
Nice.
So I'm going to head out before we get trapped in here or something, get some groceries and all that mess.
All right, brother. Well, y'all be safe.
And I can take a shower tomorrow, man. Woohoo!
Good for you, man. We'll wash your ass.
We'll lose power and shit.
Oh, bro. Don't say that.
All right, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Still live and in color on the Wolfie D. It's Wolfie D, baby. I got a cap for your dome. We got a cap for your dome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Sheik, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise. This team does it all. And all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, Gene Jackson here, inviting you to check out the Retro Wrestling Review, where each week I'm joined by some great co-hosts who help me review classic episodes of USWA Championship Wrestling, and right now we are doing week-by-week reviews of 1993. But we don't just do reviews, sometimes we get a chance to interview some of the people who were there and lived it, plus do watch-alongs. It's a lot of fun, so check out new episodes that drop every Wednesday at WrestleCopia.com, and to find links to everything associated to the podcast, you can go to USWApodcast.com.
Woo, mister! This is Handsome Jimmy, professional wrestler, the Boogie Woogie Man. Come on, people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss this one. It's Wrestling Talk with Mayor McCall. Yes, baby, be there or be square. Oh, yeah, ha, 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 ha.
Hi, this is Mike Needham, host of the Reckless Abandon Podcast with Mike Needham. We invite you to jump on your favorite podcast platform and search for the Reckless Abandon Podcast and give us a listen. I'm sometimes joined by a part-time podcaster, part-time co-host, and full-time wife, Tiffany Nicole. We talk wrestling, we talk pop culture, we talk local events, local happenings in West Tennessee, and a ton of other stuff. But be sure to check out the Reckless Abandon Podcast. Find us on Facebook. Also, look up the Microgroup Podcasting family on Facebook and see some of our other podcasts we have out there. Until next time, make good choices, and always remember, no dollar, no dice.
So that was another great episode. Hey, Wolfie, tell them where they can find you on social media.
Jimmy, they can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. I'm just kidding. They can find me on Facebook. My personal page is Warren Wolf, WOLFE. I'm on Instagram at WarrenWolf13.
You can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Live Wolfie D. Here's the thing. Wolfie always has offers for his autographed photos. He has a selection of some awesome photos from throughout his career that he will autograph and personalize any way that you want him to. Just contact him either directly at his personal Facebook page or through any one of our other pages, and we'll make sure you get in contact directly with Wolfie. Get those photos, right, Wolfie?
Yeah, I've got some good stuff on there, to help with the podcast.
Folks, if you can't get out to a show to meet Wolfie D, there's nothing like that, especially for the fans of PG-13 and Wolfie D. And before we go, you can always find me, your host, Jimmy Street, at James Rock Street on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And hey, Jimmy, before we go real quick, I just want to add in there, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate, first of all, the work you've done for this podcast. You have worked your butt off. Secondly, the people that are liking the page. Beyond that, even more, is the people that are listening, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, and remember, guys, the podcast drops a new episode every Monday at noon, and our past episodes are streaming now on demand on all major podcast formats. Thanks again.
Yeah. PG-13 Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2024. Give it up. Spaceman Jones with the beat. Here we go. The 90s was ours, and we did it with pride. 15-time tag champs, what a hell of a ride. Rock and roll couldn't beat us, so Tommy and Doug. Knox Mother's dirty white boy who called themselves thugs. T is for terrible, H is for hell. Ha! PG both been locked up in county jail. The kid was real, and we were immature punks. Buddy Wayne couldn't stand us because we didn't wear trunks. We did it our way, in and out of the ring. Bought a real rap swagger to the Memphis thing. You can hate it, you can love it, we just did our thing. Still true to the game, now we Hall of Fame. PG-13, put respect on our name. Yeah.
This has been a James Rock Street production.